This is Cassius with Era of Wisdom, with your thought for the day. Did you know that in 2012, Iran accused the U.S. of using weather weapons? The president of Iran, the vice president of Iran, several high-ranking Iranian officials very carefully gave a message to the Irani public and the world about weather weapons, weather modification, engineered droughts, and things like that. So we'll start to piece this together with an article from Geoengineering Watch from Dane Wigington of Northern California. It says the head of Iran's Cultural Heritage and Tourism Organization believes that in addition to economic sanctions, the West is launching another kind of soft war on the Islamic Republic. Speaking at a ceremony to introduce the nation's new meteorological department chief, Hassan Musavi, sorry I'm pronouncing that wrong, said that he was suspicious about the drought in the southern part of the country. He went on to accuse the West as using technology to influence the nation's climate, saying sandstorms, droughts, and other extreme weather were the result of an unspecified method of war. So, this is a quote from him right here. The drought is an acute issue and soft war is completely evident. This level of drought is not normal. And that statement can be confirmed by, of course, mainstream media. Right here in a Business Insider article. They paint it as an issue of the president of Iran as simply being a conspiracy theorist or something like that. But, well, it takes balls, probably, I would assume, to say this as the president of Iran, #1 target of the West in the world. So now we're going to watch the ex-president of Iran in 2012 talk about how, well, this YouTube video says, President Ahmadinejad exposed chemtrails. He did not say chemtrails, he said technology. So maybe to soften the blow, he said technology. Some technology is taking the rain out of Iran's clouds. So, here we go.
A wild accusation from Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. He says Western countries are causing drought in certain parts of the world, including Iran. He says they're using high-tech equipment to drain raindrops from clouds. Yes, that is what he said. He basically says European countries are stealing rain from Iran for their own use. Alrighty, Mr. President.
اون منطقه اروپا منطقه پربارشی است. یعنی متوسط بالای 1500 میلیمتر بارندگی دارن. نیاز هم ندارن. این شبکه ها و اینها رو نیاز ندارن چون آبیاری طبیعی میشه اونجا. اما اومدن با تجهیزاتی که دارن ابرها رو تخلیه کردن. شما میدونید جریان حرکت ابرها از غرب به شرق، یعنی میاد از روی اقیانوس شکل میگیره، میاد روی مدیترانه، هوا تغییرات درش اتفاق میفته، میاد عبور میکنه از ایران و میره به سمت شرق. اکثر ظرفیت ابرها رو تخلیه کردن. دیدید در اخبار بارندگی های کم سابقه یا بی سابقه چقدر برف اومد در اروپا و تمام پاییز ما خشک بود. یه آقایی که سیاستمداره، رشته تحصیلیش هم رشته آب و عمران اونها نیست، 7 رو پیش مقاله‌ای نوشته بود درباره بحران آب در 30 سال آینده و یه نقشه از دنیا، یه مناطقی رو گفته بود خشک میشن اینا. ترکیه به این وقت، از ترکیه به سمت ما و به سمت شرق. درست این محدوده ای که اونها ازش میترسن به خاطر تمدن سازی و فرهنگ آفرینی، اینا رو کشته بود خشک. جلسه بودیم کسی مطرح کرد که آقا بحران آب هست و این آقا هم مقاله نوشته. بعدم این آقا که اصلا کارش این نیست، تخصصش آب و هواشناسی و بیولوژی و اینا نیست که این چطور همچین تشخیصی داده. اخباری داشتیم که در اروپا دارن این کارو میکنن، یعنی دارن اخبار تخلیه میکنن که به سمت ما نرسه. بعد بررسی‌هایی هم کردم، یقینی شد برام که اون حرفی که اون آقا زده است به پیشبینی علمی نیست، خبر از یک حادثه است که طراحی شده است. حالا ما باید در مجامع حقوقی پیگیری بکنیم، اجازه ندیم چنین کار زشتی انجام بشه. خب معلومه وقتی بارش کم شد اون وقت در آبهای مرزی تخاصم و تزاحم بیشتر خواهد.
So you see, Iran is in a severe drought. And another article from Business Insider says, as lakes become desert, drought is Iran's new problem. An article from 2015. Nazar Sorani's village in southeast Iran was once an island. It is now a desert, a casualty of the country's worsening water crisis. We live in the dust, said the 54-year-old cattle herder of his home in the once exceptional biosphere of Lake Hamoun, a wetland of varied flora and fauna, which is now nothing but sand-baked earth. And, yeah, they're blaming climate change. Climate change. When we live in a paradigm of people manipulating weather. We know that they're manipulating the weather. So we should never forget the testimony of people like President Ahmadinejad. He told us to our faces that they're engineering the drought. And his words are strikingly similar to the words of other geoengineering researchers such as Dane Wigington. The exact same thing was said by Dane Wigington, probably before Ahmadinejad said it, that the chemtrailing, the geoengineering activity, makes the clouds carry the water that it would have normally rained down to other places and make it have a drought in one area and a flood in another. We can observe this phenomena with the fact that Yosemite is being decimated by chemtrails. And so, you know, I live in Northern California, and I've seen chemtrails in Sacramento many times. And the fact that this geoengineering activity is taking place over the rural area of Yosemite National Park, right there, well, it goes to show that, well, you see these chemtrails really heavily in Central California. When the rain clouds pass the bay and then go to Central California, the heart of Cali, it gets hit by chemtrails. I've observed this personally, so this is my personal experience. The clouds go over an area, and then the high altitude chemtrail material from geoengineering falls onto the clouds. And then after the material falls onto the clouds, they don't rain, and then they move to another area. It may flood and be a drought in another area. This has been a systematic, extreme drought, and like Ahmadinejad said, well, this is the vice president of Iran, but he said, the drought is an acute issue and soft war is completely evident. This level of drought is not normal. It's the same thing that we all conclude when something is this systematic and deliberate and strategic. It's clear. I think Iran's drought is being engineered. And to further explore this issue, on the internet you can find a ton of footage of chemtrails over Turkey. And Ahmadinejad was quick to note that he said the clouds pass from west to east, from around Turkey in that area through Iran. So if someone sprayed, say, chemtrails in Turkey, maybe that would be the geoengineering technology necessary to make sure the clouds don't fall on Iran and instead cause a flood somewhere else. So these are chemtrails over Turkey, according to YouTube. So, I hope that was insightful. I hope you loved this video and you learned something new about geoengineering, and I hope you pay close attention to the hazy, feathery things you see in the sky today that are in fact not clouds. After seeing the worst chemtrails I've ever seen in my life, I've become fixed to this issue after I saw this, and I recorded this video on March 15th in Sacramento. I've become determined to expose this no matter what. So I will keep you updated with all the info that I find about this. I hope you can find some new info and tell me about it if you discover it. So let's never stop the good fight. Much love. Peace.